I took a small piece of my banding and I'm going to hit it with some tung oil, and let's see what happens to it once I wake it up with that. I'm thinking that's what I'm going to use as a finish. Well, I got the first coat on. And what I really love about this particular finish when you're dealing with like walnut, I've done this with walnut before, you start seeing every individual fiber. These particular bandings are made with end grain, and I'm going to try and zoom in here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but they're actually joined together like that. So, but just seeing all those individual little textures, I think that's what makes it pop the most. My pots came in the mail. I went with Bourne's 1/4 inch shaft, solid shaft, and as you can see, they're 0.950, so they're almost an inch. So I'm going to make my control route 1.25 inches, just so I got a little room for finagling things around in there. And I'm going to go standard telly, one volume, one tone, and my blade switch, but I got a surprise there too, so you'll find out about that a little bit more. Oh, I should mention too, these are linear taper rather than audio taper. So basically what I've done here is I've taken a standard Telecaster hot dog and used it to lay out where I want the controls to be. And I'm going to use these measurements to then transfer to the back, and that's how I'm going to know where to route my cavity. So this is actually coming in from the back side, but what you can see is right here, this screw actually happens to be the tangent of that arc, so I can drill that all the way through, and then I know where that arc begins. And whoops, there's sawdust and all that there, but anyhow, I did the same thing there. So um, again, I can use that point and I'll know as well where that's at just by measuring that distance over. And anyhow, you get the idea. So that's what I'm working on right now. So I just used a series of Forstner bits to hog out the majority of this material. It'll make it a lot easier on that router bit, because that's, over 1.25 inches deep. That's a lot of hacking. So got that done. I'll be setting up my plunge router and my, I think they're called marquetry bits. I'm not certain. It's basically a set of bushings that offsets the router bit so that you can make things in scale. So that's what I'm going to use for that. Okay, so just in case you didn't understand what I was talking about, we know that this hole and this hole are positioned there. So if we just put this guy back over top, we can then take a smaller hot dog, which this one's 1.25 inches wide, and I can just trace around it and I know my shape. I could also fasten this to the body and use it as a pattern, which is exactly what I'm going to do, and that's how I'm going to go around this guy. So yep, next time you see it, it'll have the control cavity in there, so I'll be able to take that, make the lip, make the recess, and then I have another piece of, yeah, you guessed it, walnut, that I can also cut the cover out of. So that's what I'm working on now. So far, things are just, popping along. We're doing really good. Well, here's our current state. As you can see, I put in yet another coat of the shielding paint. Got the last of that in there. Got the slot for the blade switch, volume and tone. I have a cup style jack that'll be going down in this area, so that'll be really easy to get the drill to there and really easy to get the drill from there to there. So I'll take care of that stuff, and I don't know if I'm gonna video that or not, but that'll be it for the day today probably, because it's been a long week and I want to get a little bit of weekend in. Help, just wanted to take a couple minutes here and just, just drop a couple pieces in and get a better look at what this thing's going to look like. So this is kind of what we're looking at here. Sorry about the light coming through the door there, but yeah, just to give you a better look at that. That's kind of nuts. Every time I look at that, I'm just blown away. And, the pots aren't in or nothing like that. I did mount the switch because I had to cut the slot. You always got to double check that because when you get down into this area here, you notice even as wide as I have that, the edge of this top hat hits. They do. That's just the way that they're made. So like even there, it goes all the way over, but that cap is still touching. So I'll probably wind up taking a rat tail file right at this end and that end and just scooping it out a little bit more just to make sure that that switch is fully engaged. So that's where we are there. As for the pickup, you can see this guy, he's in there pretty snug. He's not moving anywhere except up and down. That's looking good. Same thing with this guy. He looks good. So yeah, really productive day / week. I think it's time to get all of this into the computer and start editing video for you so you can see what I'm talking about right now. If you like what I'm doing, please, click the like button, hit subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I'm still kind of up in the air about what we do with that pickguard and how all that's going to work out. I'm not entirely certain if I like it still or not. Actually, let me throw it on now that we've got a better look at it here. So what do you think? Walnut pickguard or black? I'm really thinking black anymore. I don't know. But yeah, I'd appreciate your feedback. Like I said, this is it's a popularity contest based off of votes and likes and things like that. So the more people that chime in that they dig what I'm doing, the better off. So I thank you much, and I appreciate your support. And as I'm picking stuff up, and I just keep looking at this, thinking, and then I put the neck in. And I don't know, maybe it's me, but that pickup needs a surround. It really does. Even though I made that slot as clean as I could, I just don't like that big gap. I'm talking about from the actual top of the flatware into here. I just don't like that. I think, and then I keep questioning this, I really think I need to go with the black plastic pickguard that comes up around here and surrounds that. Either that or continue with that idea, but then rather than come up and then loop around, I don't know, maybe come all the way up to the top and follow it around. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking anyhow. So if you've got an idea, feel free to chime in and voice your opinion.